My alcoholic husband ruined our lives, so I left the house with my kids. Now he is demanding to live with me and causing trouble. My partner, Alex, and I met during college. He was charismatic, with an infectious laugh and a kind heart. We were inseparable, spending our days dreaming of a future together. After graduation, we moved into a small apartment in the city, excited to start our new life. For a while, everything was perfect. We both found jobs and settled into a comfortable routine. However, Alex had a dark side. He had always enjoyed drinking socially, but over time, his drinking escalated. At first, it was just a few beers after work, but soon it became an every-night affair. I tried to ignore it, hoping it was just a phase. But as the months went by, his behavior grew increasingly erratic. One evening, Alex came home late, stumbling through the door and reeking of alcohol. He had lost his job earlier that day for showing up drunk. I was devastated and angry, but I didn't know how to help him. We argued, and he promised to quit drinking and find another job. I wanted to believe him, but deep down, I knew it wasn't going to be that easy. Despite his promises, Alex continued to drink. Our savings dwindled as he spent more money on alcohol. We fell behind on rent, and the bills piled up. I took on extra shifts at work to make ends meet, but it was never enough. The stress took its toll on me, and I began to feel isolated and hopeless. One morning, a notice was slipped under our door. We had a week to vacate the apartment. I felt a wave of panic wash over me as I read the notice. I knew Alex was out drinking again, so I called my sister, Emily. She had always been supportive, and I knew she would help us. "Emily, it's Claire. I need your help," I said, my voice trembling. "Claire, what's wrong?" Emily's voice was filled with concern. I explained our situation, and without hesitation, Emily offered to take us in. I packed up our belongings and waited for Alex to return. When he finally stumbled through the door, I showed him the notice. He was too drunk to comprehend the gravity of our situation. "We need to leave, Alex. We're being evicted," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Don't worry, Claire. I'll fix it," he slurred, before collapsing onto the couch. The next morning, I loaded our things into the car while Alex slept off his hangover. I drove to Emily's house, feeling a mix of relief and shame. Emily welcomed us with open arms, her home a haven of warmth and stability. She had a small house in the suburbs with a cozy living room and a backyard where Lily, our daughter, could play. "It's going to be okay, Claire. We'll get through this together," Emily reassured me as she helped me unpack. I nodded, grateful for her support. I wanted to believe her, but I couldn't shake the feeling of dread that lingered in the back of my mind. Living with Emily provided a temporary respite, but Alex's drinking didn't stop. He would disappear for hours, sometimes days, leaving me to care for Lily on my own. One night, he came home drunk and angry. He had lost his job again and was blaming me for our situation. "You're the reason we're in this mess," he shouted, throwing a chair across the room. "Alex, please! Think about Lily! This isn't healthy for her!" I pleaded, trying to calm him down. But he was beyond reasoning. He stormed into Emily's room and shattered a family heirloom, a vase that had been passed down through generations. Emily ran into the room, her face pale with shock. "Alex, what have you done?" she cried. He looked at her with a blank expression, as if he didn't understand the significance of his actions. That was the moment I realized I couldn't let Lily grow up in this environment. I had to protect her, even if it meant making the hardest decision of my life. The next morning, I sat Alex down and told him he needed to leave. He begged for another chance, promising he would change. But I had heard it all before. My heart was breaking, but I knew what I had to do. "Alex, I love you, but I can't let you destroy our lives anymore. You need to leave," I said, tears streaming down my face. "Claire, please, I'll quit drinking. I promise," he pleaded, his voice cracking. I shook my head. "I'm sorry, Alex. I can't do this anymore." Emily helped me pack up Alex's things, and we drove him to a nearby shelter. As we left, I felt a mixture of relief and guilt. I knew it was the right thing to do, but it didn't make it any easier. With Alex gone, I focused on creating a stable environment for Lily. Emily was incredibly supportive, helping me find a part-time job that allowed me to be there for Lily. We settled into a new routine, and slowly, things began to improve. I started therapy to work through the trauma of the past few years. It was a long and painful process, but it helped me understand that I couldn't save Alex. He had to want to save himself. I began to rebuild my self-esteem and found strength I didn't know I had. A few months later, Alex showed up at Emily's doorstep. He looked worse than ever, unshaven, dirty, and clearly under the influence. My heart ached at the sight of him, but I knew I couldn't let him back into our lives. "Claire, please. I have nowhere else to go," he begged. Against her better judgment, Emily agreed to let him stay temporarily. Alex promised to attend AA meetings and find a job. For a brief period, it seemed like he might turn things around. He even spent more time with Lily, which gave me a glimmer of hope. However, old habits die hard. Alex started coming home late, clearly having been drinking. One night, Emily discovered her engagement ring was missing. It had been passed down through generations, and we both knew Alex was the only possible culprit. When confronted, he denied it, but the evidence was clear. Emily was devastated, and I felt a deep sense of betrayal. We had given him another chance, and he had thrown it away. "Alex, you need to leave, now," Emily said firmly. "I have nowhere else to go," he shouted, his anger bubbling to the surface. "You've made your choices, Alex. We can't help you anymore," I said, my voice trembling with emotion. Emily called the police to remove Alex from her home. The whole situation was chaotic. Alex was shouting and resisting as the officers escorted him out. I watched through tears as the man I once loved was taken away in handcuffs. The emotional toll was immense, but with Alex gone, I filed for legal separation. The process was smooth, as Alex didn't contest anything. He was too far gone into his addiction. Slowly, we began to heal. I found a better job, and Lily adjusted to her new school. We created new traditions, and life started to feel normal again. One evening, as I was sitting on the porch with Emily, watching Lily play in the yard, I received a phone call. It was from Alex's brother, informing me that Alex had passed away from alcohol poisoning. The news hit hard despite everything. He was my first love, and a part of me mourned the man he could have been. The funeral was a small, somber affair. As I stood by his grave, I felt a mix of sadness, anger, and relief. I whispered a silent goodbye to the man who once made me so happy, but ultimately brought so much pain. Returning home, I hugged Lily tightly, grateful for the new life we were building. Despite the darkness, we had found a way to move forward, stronger and more resilient than ever. 6 months have passed since Alex's funeral, and life has continued to evolve for Lily and me. We've settled into our new routine, and each day brings a bit more stability and peace. Emily's support has been unwavering, and her home has truly become a sanctuary for us. Lily has adjusted well to her new school, making friends and excelling in her studies. She's even started taking piano lessons, something she's always wanted to do. Watching her thrive has been a source of immense joy for me. I recently got a promotion at work, which has not only improved our financial situation, but also boosted my confidence. It's empowering to know that I can provide for my daughter and create a secure future for us. I often think about Alex and the potential he had. His death was a tragic end to a life filled with promise. But I've learned to accept that some things are beyond my control. My focus now is on the future and ensuring that Lily grows up in a loving, stable environment.